All right, fourth graders, this is Mrs. Holtai, and sorry, my phone interrupted us. What we are trying to do is to draw an angle that measures 170 degrees. Now I've switched to a pen so that you can see what I'm doing a little easier. We've drawn a straight line using our straight edge of our protractor, and we really made it long enough so that we can see that it lines up on each side so that we get a good measurement. Put the hole in the protractor over the point that you've made in your line. Rotate this around so that it lines up, okay? And then once you get it there, hold it with your fingers. Now we want to mark a point so that we can draw a ray so that they have 170 degrees. We're starting here. We go around till we get to 170, and we make a point here. Okay, you can leave your pen there. Move your straight edge around, line it up to the center point, draw a straight line. You can add arrows if you would like. And this angle here is 170 degrees. Okay. Now the next one is that you're to draw is 170, not 100, but 78. Okay. On number 5 down here is you want to draw 78, an angle that is 78 degrees. Okay. Now I've done this one already, so yours should look something similar. 78. This one I've drawn from the right hand side. From this angle, from this ray to here is 78. So here's 70 and here's 80. It is 78. Okay. Now either one of these angles could be flipped over and they would still be 78 degrees. Okay. It is possible that your line could be going right over here and this line could be going this way. It's still an angle that measures 78 degrees. Okay, let's move on to page 501. Okay, let's read these together and talk about these. Number 6, representations. Mrs. Murphy is building a wheelchair ramp outside her business. The angle of the ramp should be 5 degrees. Draw a picture in the space to the right to show a model of the ramp. Okay. Let's put it right over this little, he's an armadillo. Let's put it right over his body. We're going to make a dot. She wants a 5-degree measurement. Line it up. Now I have a problem because my protractor doesn't even appear to go down to 5 degrees, and I'm off the page. Okay, that's fine. We can solve this a different way. We're going to move our point over, line it up. Okay, here's 10 degrees. Let's go up here. So this would mark 5. This longer line would mark 5 degrees. And I can make my point. And we're not using this dot anymore as our center. We're using this here. Now, so that is a diagram of a 5-degree angle, and it makes a good size ramp. It's not too steep. It's got to get up to the height of her door so the wheelchairs and rolling carts and things can get in her door of her business. Okay. Number 7 says, draw an angle with a measure of 0. Describe your drawing. Well, a 0 degree just looks like one ray because there's no space between the rays. Okay, you could draw a ray, then you could draw another ray on top of it, and that would have, the 2 rays would have a 0 degree. They share the exact same spot. It's even difficult to know that there are 2 rays there. Okay, number 8. Says, what's the error? Tracy measured an angle as 50 degrees that was actually 130. Explain her error. Tracy used the wrong scale when reading the measure of the angle. Okay, let's look at this. If she were reading she were reading something that was supposed to be 50 degrees. Let's line this up. Here's 50 degrees and here's 130 degrees. Okay. Well, if this is 50 degrees, this amount would be 130 degrees. You have to keep in mind which angle that you actually need to consider. If you're considering this one, you know that it's less than 90 degrees. You know 50 is less than 90, but 130 is not. Okay, number 9. Now this one's a little interesting to me. About geometry and sun and earth angle. It says use tools. In the northern hemisphere, the Earth's axis is tilted away from the sun on the first day of winter, which is often on December 21st. What is the measure of the marked angle on the first day of winter, the shortest day of the year? So we are wanting to know, we're looking at this diagram, and we're wanting to know what is this angle. Okay. Well, note that this angle is greater than 90 degrees, because if this was straight up and down, it would be 90 degrees. Now, this is a bit of a challenge for our protractors because the lines are so short. So, carefully, you could extend the line so that you can read it with your protractor. But if you get off a little bit, it's going to make your measurement off. So you got to be sure before you draw your line, be sure that you're right on. Okay, so we're going to measure this angle. So my 90 is facing right. It's not flipped over reverse. I line up the vertex. I rotate this down so this lined up. And I look and I see what it is. Now it's crossing. Here's 110. It's a little bit larger than 110. Say 111. Okay, and that would be correct. 111 for this drawing. Okay, now I put 113 here because I know from science that the Earth tilts at 23.5 degrees, 23.3 degrees. Okay, so if you have 90 and you add 23 more, you would get 113. But this drawing is 111 degrees. Okay, number 10. The Earth's axis is not tilted away from or toward the sun on the first days of spring and fall, which are often on March the 20th and September the 22nd. What is the measure of the marked angle on the first day of spring or fall? Okay, this is called winter solstice, and this is called spring equinox and fall equinox, and it has that name equinox because what it is communicating to us is that the hours of the day and the hours of the night are equal. In the wintertime, we have more hours or more minutes of daylight than we do sunlight. So, when we are at equinox, notice that let your eye look at this and you can see that it's 90 degrees. But we can do the same here. Lengthen this out so that we can easily use our protractor. Line it up. I think by now it's getting a little bit easier for you to read this. It just takes some skill in lining up the protractor. Okay. Number 11. In the northern hemisphere, the Earth's axis is tilted toward the sun on the first day of summer, which is often on June 21st. What is the measure of the marked angle on the first day of summer, the longest day of the year? Okay, so it would be helpful if we would extend this line out. And extend this line out. Now our page is getting a little messy, but we're getting the job done. Lined up well. Okay. Let's see what it measures at. It's less than 90 degrees, so it's going to be between 60 and 70. So let's start at 70 and go backwards. 70, 70, 69, 68. Sorry, I got out of the center of the camera. Okay. Am I lined up well? Nope. Look, I am not lined up well. Back here. Check that I'm in the middle. Okay. Let's start at 60, 65, 66, 67. Okay. So you're going to see even just a little bit of rotation going to give you a really different answer. So 66, 67, I found that it was kind of in between those. Okay. Now, let's look at page 502 together. See if you can do those yourself, and then we'll come back and check the answers. Okay. Hopefully you've paused the video and you've completed 12 through 15. Okay, and you're going to see that number 12, the answer is B. Okay, if you measure the first angle here, there's some things you can do to rule out. Kate tosses a stone in the water at a stone skipping tournament. It forms a 20-degree angle with the water and skips many times. Which angle measures 20 degrees? Well, 20 degrees is less than 90 degrees, so you can rule out answer choice D because it's larger than 90 degrees. Okay, so let's pick one of these and measure it. I chose to measure answer choice A. So I measured it and I found that it was 32 degrees. Well, C is larger than answer choice A, and I'm looking for 20 degrees, so I don't need to measure C. So A is not the right answer. So we're pretty sure that B is the right answer, but let's measure it to be sure. Okay? Because we've ruled out all the other answer choices. Okay, we're looking for 20 degrees, and it is really close to 20 degrees. Okay, so question 13 is answer choice C. 14. Question 14, Maria builds 2 sets of stairs in her dollhouse. Measure the angles in the picture at the right. What is the difference between the measures of the angles formed by the stairs? Okay, so this is it says multi-step. So you need to get the angle measurement of each of these angles, and then you need to subtract because it asks for the difference. Okay, QRS, you need to find that measurement, and then subtract angle FGH. Okay, and then number 15, you're going to find that answer choice is C. Okay, now 14.3 is what I'm asking you to do for homework for a grade. Be careful with this. Be diligent with your use of the protractor. Okay, I've asked you to do all 14 questions. Now, for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, you need to draw something. So I've loaded a PDF file that you can choose your answers from. Okay, here's an example of that. Okay, I hope that you've gotten a little more comfortable with the protractor as you've been using it and getting used to it. So anyway, I hope your day is going well, and be diligent about this exercise. Okay, thank you. Bye.